All right. Hi guys. Good evening. Hopefully you're able to see me and hear me and also see the screen properly. If the setup is good, just send a hi, good evening, okay, yes, something in the chat so that I know everything is good and we can get started. Perfect. Great. Yes. I hope everybody is doing well. I was not able to take the last two sessions. Sorry about that. I was not well. But yes, so we are back with the sessions and let's get started. There are a couple of very important things that we are going to start with today. So pay very close attention for the next couple of minutes. So I'm going to tell you about the project work. I'm going to tell you about the assignment and I'm going to tell you about the platform, right? So all three things one by one. And then we'll start with the topic of the day, which is going to be somewhere around internships and how to do the project and stuff like that, right? So yes, again, pay very close attention for the next couple of minutes because this is going to be important. So let me just share my screen again. And the first thing, one second. Yes, so now I'm going to open up the screen, right? I hope you can see the entire screen. It should just be blank for now. And the first thing is this that you see on the screen. This is the assignment that we have on the LMS, right, for this particular week. So we have already discussed these things, right? You have to make a form, you have to use CSS. So you have to use both of those things together to solve this assignment. Again, I'm putting the direct link to the assignment in the chat, right? So this is available on tab. I'm going to do the same thing for the YouTube chat as well. I'm putting the link in the YouTube chat as well, right? Again, I will also add this to the repository as well. So to the GitHub repository, I will quickly add that link as well. So there you go. The link is now available over here as well. Perfect. So I can see the screen on YouTube. So the screen is being shared, right? So whoever is saying they can't see the screen, please check your connection. I can see the screen on YouTube. So that means it is available. So yes, like I was saying, I've put the link in the chat a bunch of times. Please copy it from there. This is the direct link to the assignment. And again, you might have already received this on email as well. But this is the first assignment that you need to solve, right? So again, as you can see, it's a 60-minute timer. I started this 20 minutes ago. So there is a 60-minute timer, which is more than enough time. What you have to do is make this table, right? So you have to replicate this output using HTML and CSS. And what you have to do is you have to submit your files, right? So how do you do this? Well, you can drag and drop your HTML and CSS file, and you can just go ahead and submit that. So you just have to fill in any title. For example, you can just say table, something like this, and upload your files. Any confusion here, or is this clear? Right? So very simple. I've given you the link. Open the link, solve the assignment, and submit the file. Right? So again, just ignore the GitHub link, ignore the description, ignore the built with. All you have to do is just type some title, upload your file, whatever it is, and you can just go ahead and submit that. Right? That's basically it. So if I just give you an example, let me take some code from a previous session. So this is HTML, this is upload, right? So I've uploaded this. Once again, I will upload CSS. So both files are now uploaded and then just submit. That's it. So this is how you have to submit the assignment. Give some title, upload both HTML and CSS files and submit it. So this needs to be done as soon as you can, right? Probably over the weekend, try to finish it off so that next week we can give you another assignment, right? So yes, so Pushita, you have to submit HTML and CSS files. So naturally you will make it in VS Code only, right? No need for Notepad. VS Code that we write, you have to just submit that. So yes, again, so for people who are asking this, I will repeat this once again, and that's it. What you have to do is I've given you the link in the chat. This is the link to the assignment, right? What you have to do is open this link. In the link, you will see something like this, what I have on the screen right now. This is your assignment. What you have to do is you have to create this table using HTML and CSS. So you have to change the background colors. This heading is centered. You have to do everything properly as it is in the output. Then what you have to do is put some assignment title. So over here on the right hand side, if you can see, I am just putting the assignment title like this. Then browse files, select the HTML file, again click on browse files, select the CSS file. So select both HTML and CSS file and then submit. This will submit the assignment. and that's it. So this submission is required, and that is basically what we need, right? So this is how you have to submit the assignment. If the other things are invalid, just put any random things and you can submit. If for some reason you face any issues, you can just fill everything else randomly and submit. But these things should be enough. You should not worry about the three things, the last three things. Just the files and the title will be enough. You should be able to submit it, right? So this is your submission for the assignment. And yes, that's basically the assignment part. So that is the first thing that I wanted to discuss, right? Again, if you have any errors, please reach out to the team. They will help you out. This is the only question for now. So for people who are asking how many questions are there, this is the only question, right? So yes, this single question is the assignment for now. And finally, let me close this. And yes, the next thing is I've also updated the GitHub repository with everything. So as you can see, up till session 9, even today's link I have already added. And the assignment link is available here as well. So in case you are not able to find the link anywhere else, it is in the repository as well. I've also added all the pending sessions. So session 6, all code is here. Session 7, session 8, everything is there. The last session, I have asked for the code from the faculty who took the session. So if I get that code, I will put that over here as well. But yes, if you remember on Wednesday, one of my friends took the session, right? So I think you did some revision session that day. So if I get that code from him, I will upload that also over here itself. But for now, I've added everything that was missing in this link, right? So yes, this is everything that is there in the repository as well, right? Perfect. This is the GitHub link. I've already sent the YouTube, the assignment link on YouTube also several times. Let me send it once again, no problem. But I've already sent it 4 or 5 times earlier also. Here is the link again. I am putting it in the chat for YouTube people also. I've put the assignment link in the chat, right? And for people who don't have your college code or who don't have access to the tab, again, there is a WhatsApp group. There are point of contact. Please reach out to them. You have your college point of contact. Please reach out to them. They will help you out with the access. I really can't help you with the access. So you'll have to talk to your college POC, whoever it is. And again, so Sheikh Abdul Salim, I've read your answer. I can't help you with that. You have to figure it out with the college POC, right? So that's the only way. People who are asking cannot do on mobile, you cannot do this on a mobile phone. It is not possible. I have said this already so many times before, right? So yes, again, Kuldeep, if you don't have any WhatsApp groups, please reach out to somebody from the team. I'm sure you have some contact to call or email. There's an email ID also that is available. Please contact them and they will help you out. So, Sajid, the old assignment need not be done for now. That will be done after React. So after we finish React, we will then do that assignment because there are questions from JavaScript and React also in that assignment. So that will come in later. But for now, forget everything else. Just this is the only assignment that I have given you today. That is the one that you have to work on. Forget everything that was discussed before. I hope that makes sense. The deadline will be a week from today. So basically, the next Friday would be the deadline for this. But again, ideally try to finish it off over the weekend because from Monday, we are starting JavaScript, right? So again, the assignment deadline is going to be the weekend, but is going to be next Friday. But again, we are starting with JavaScript on Monday, right? So try to finish it off over the weekend itself so that you can focus on JavaScript from Monday onwards. But yes, that's basically the update on the assignment. I hope everybody knows now what needs to be done for the assignment. The link is given to you. It's in the repository also. The link you can get from there. If you have not received any email, no message, nothing is given, still you can get the link from the GitHub repository. The link I have given you. So you have the link now, right? So please don't make any excuses regarding the assignment now. I have given you the link, so you can definitely use that, right? For people who are basically not able to access tab or don't have an account, remember you have to create an account on your own, right? We are not creating an account for you. The link is tap.blackbox. That is the link. Again, it's the assignment link only, the first half before the hackathon bit. So that is the link. If you don't have access, please create an account and you should be able to get access to the LMS as well, right? So the LMS link, again, I'm putting in the chat, LMS link. So in case you don't have account or anything like that, please visit this link and sign up using Google. Right? So once you do that, you have to enter your college code and you should be able to create an account. Yes. So Jai Krishna has a good question. He's asking, should we use the same colors for the assignment? The answer is yes. Exact color, not the exact color, but anything related to that will work, right? So please make sure that you put similar colors, if not something random, something similar to the screenshot. The closer you can get to it, the better it is, right? For people who are asking assignment links, GitHub links, it is there on the screen now. Again, please take a screenshot, please copy this, paste it, keep it with you. Whatever it is, the link is on the screen. So again, requesting you to take a screenshot. I've been sharing this in every session. It's the 10th session today, and still people don't have links. So please copy this link. I will put it in the chat also if you need this, but make sure you keep it with you. This is where everything is updated, right? So like I showed you already, all the recording, session recordings, all the code that we have written in the session, the assignment link that you want, everything about the course, all the PPT, everything is available in the GitHub repository. Again, I have pasted that link in the chat as well. I am pasting the same thing on YouTube as well. So for people who are on YouTube Live, you also have that link now. So yes, I've given the link to everybody. If you just open this GitHub link, you have access to the assignment over there. You have all the session recordings available over there as well. Right. I will also put the LMS link over there. So in case you want to access the LMS, that link will also be available over there. So all you need is just one GitHub link. Everything else is over there. Right. And let me just put that LMS link also and done. I've added the LMS link also to the same GitHub repository. So just the only thing you need is access to the GitHub link. And again, I've added LMS also and email CSS assignment also. Both of those links are also available right there. Okay. So I hope now everybody has everything that you need, right? There is no confusion or questions anymore regarding the link part. Perfect. Now the next important thing that you have to work on is the project, right? And this is very important. So again, pay very close attention to what I'm about to tell you regarding the project. So Dhanush, today's class is about projects and interviews. So I'm going to tell you what we are doing for the project, how the whole setup is going to be, what you need to do, what needs to be submitted, etc. So everything that you need to know about the project. And then I'll give you a quick walkthrough of all the different steps, the entire process that happens for an interview, right? In addition to that, I will also share some additional resources from which you can prepare for different interview rounds. Right? So today's focus is basically projects and interviews. And then Monday onwards, we get back on track with JavaScript. So we'll start learning JavaScript from Monday. So yes, the first thing that you need to know is this is going to be a group project, right? So we'll have 3 to 4 people in a group. Again, the team will reach out to you. Don't worry about who will be with me, what is the group. We will create groups for you and we will be informing you. They will be from your college only, obviously. So we'll be creating groups from every college and we'll give you a project abstract will be given to you. If it is already not been given by now, it will be given to you very soon, right? In 2 3 days. That abstract needs to be submitted, of course. So first you submit the abstract to your HOD or whoever the concerned person is in your college. That is one thing. But more importantly, the way we are going to work on the project is a group-based project, right? So this is not an individual project because it's a big project. So it's going to be something like a library management system or a movie streaming commerce website, something of that sort, right? So it will be big with multiple features, and that is why we will have multiple people. So 4 to 5 members will be there in one group. In some groups, if people are less, we'll have 3 people. If there are more students, we'll have 5 people, something like that. So 3 to 4 people in one group is what you can expect. Again, the group list will be shared by the team, so don't worry. You will receive communication that you are with this group or you are a member of this group. We will also be assigning mentors for every group, right? So you will have a dedicated point of contact for the project. So if you have any doubts or confusion, you can definitely reach out to the mentors also. So again, that is something that will happen, right? The project will be assigned to you, Kuldeep. So no, you don't have a choice in terms of the topic. The team will inform you that this group is going to choose this topic or this group has been allotted this topic. since there are so many people, we can't really wait for everybody to select something, and we have to make groups also. So it's a random group selection. It's not that we are creating it manually. There is a random number thing on the internet. We just put all your registration numbers and random groups are generated from there, right? So yes, we are going to generate random groups for you, and we are going to give you the project abstract. This is a major project, right? This is going to be a big project which will take about 1.5 months approximately. So basically till the time we have sessions, and then a month more will basically be there for the project, more or less. So that is the end goal of this particular program, and that you have a project that you build so that you can show it as a portfolio when you apply for internships. I'll come to the internships part in just a minute, right? So yes, obviously assignments are important for people who are asking assignments. Yes, assignments are super important because they are graded. As you can see, this table assignment is 100 marks, right? So every assignment is going to be graded, and that report will also be submitted, right? Yes, Tanush, we'll be talking about all the other technologies also from Monday onwards. But since your universities have been asking for project abstracts, we have given them to you. They are being sent. If you have not received them yet, you will receive them soon. We will be working on the project parallelly, right? So basically, once we cover JavaScript, we can start working on the project, right? And then we are going to want continue from there, right? Nikita, there is no assignment 6, 7, and 8. The only assignment that I've given you is the one that I gave you today. No other assignments are there, right? The only assignment that you have to do is the one I've given you today. That's it. So please check that should open. I just showed it to you on the screen, right? Yes. So again, assignments are graded. So again, if you don't do the assignments, the report that we send to the university will be mentioning that you have not done any assignment, and then you will not be allowed to sit for placements. That is university's call. But yes, assignments are super important because again, that is how you can practice, right? So that's the basic setup. Now, again, I'll just repeat this one more time. There is no group selection. There is no project topic selection, right? We will be creating the groups and we will be sending you the topic. So there is no confusion from your end, right? Very simple. We will basically say this is your group and this is your project. That's it. That will be informed to you. There is no choice or asking. It will be informed to you, right? So again, Bharat, the group members will be selected for you. We will just inform you that this is your group and this is your topic, right? Perfect. So that's basically regarding how the projects will be allocated. We have a lot of topics, around 100, 120 topics are there. So it will be randomly distributed to everybody, right? Again, the assignment deadline is Friday, next Friday. That is your assignment deadline, right? So again, for people who are asking for that Friday, the next Friday. So you have 1 week to complete the assignment, right? Perfect. Now coming to the next part of the project, which is what you need to do in the project. So number one, our team will be sending you the project abstracts after your groups have been created. That abstract needs to be submitted to the HOD or whoever your relevant POC is in the college, and they have to approve it. So you basically send it to them or give it to them, and they will approve that. So you have to take the approval from them that this is your group and this is the topic that you are working on. Now, once you get the approval from them, then what you have to do is you have to start with the design. So I'll tell you step by step how the project is going to be. Again, pay very close attention to this part, right? The very first thing that we have to do basically is to figure out the functionality of the assignment, right, or the project basically. So for example, let us assume that we have something like, so again, Krishna, don't worry, you will be given a team. If not from your college, we'll basically add you with some other people from another college. You'll have a team, don't worry, right? So that is on us. We'll create the team. You don't have to worry about that. Yes, coming back to the point. So I was saying what you need to do first is you have to figure out what we call requirements, right, for the project. So I'm going to show you a sample right now. This is just a sample, just to give you an idea of what kind of, right, just to give you an idea of what kind of a setup we are looking at in terms of project document. So let me just share this on the screen again. Just give me 1 minute and I will open it up. Right. So again, this is a random report that I have taken from a previous session, not for you guys. It was a random report that I have taken from a previous session. And this is not exactly what you need to do. Of course, you have to create a report for the project. It looks something like this, right? So we have project report and then on the project topic. Again, I will share the sample with you. Don't worry. I will add it to the repository. This is just something that I've taken from an existing course that I had done before. So this is not for you guys. This is just a reference for you, right? So this abstract will be given to you from us, right? That's the project abstract. This will be shared to you from the team. So you have to just add that abstract. In addition to this, these are some of the other things that your document should contain. Again, I will share this document with you, so don't worry about that. Just focus on what I'm telling you, right? So step one that you have to do is to figure out this part. Right? So project aim, objective, background of the project and operation environment. Again, the abstract will be given to you. Based on that, you have to figure out aims and objectives, background of the project, which is what system will be supported, things like that. Then we go to the individual topics, right? So they look something like, hold on, this, right? So after you figure out, so again, I will give you the sample document. You can refer to it. You have to create something better, not something similar, but something better than what you see here, right? So we have software requirement specification, existing system versus proposed system, tools that you, technologies that you will use. All these things have to be mentioned in the report, right? Then we have the system design. So this is something that you have to again focus on. Let me show you a sample of this as well. So here is what some system design looks like, right? So we have some database screenshots. We have some other screenshots like activity diagrams, data flow diagrams, things like these. Again, we'll talk about this one by one. But for now, I'm just giving you a broader picture of what needs to be done. Again, this is something that we will do over a span of the next 2 months, right? 2.5 months. So it will be a long process. One by one, we'll do everything. So don't worry about this a lot for now. This is just to give you an idea of what needs to be done. Right? I'll help you out in every step. I'll guide you what needs to be done, but you don't have to worry. Just notice what is going on, just to give you an idea of what we are looking at, right? So these are a couple of different diagrams that we create: use case diagrams, data flow diagrams, etc. Sequence activity diagram, stuff like that. Then we go to the implementation. Right? So this is where we put all our screenshots. So this is the project screenshots part. And similarly, we put screenshots of the backend as well. So database, admin panel, whatever you will have in your particular system. Then we have the testing part. So again, here we will mention module as well. And then we'll do a little bit of testing, which we will talk about later. So remember, this is not the final report. You do not have to copy paste this. This is just a reference. If you notice, half the things are incomplete here, right? If you see, it says module description, but there is no module description. So this is incomplete half report, just to give you an idea of what kind of a document we are looking at, right? This is not the final report that you have to create. I will guide you through this step by step, but this is the index. This is what it should look like. So we have some introduction section, then analysis, then design, then implementation screenshots, then testing and conclusion. So this index is final. This needs to be there. Everything needs to be there. Abstract we will give you, and the rest of it is for you to create. Again, I will guide you step by step what needs to be done, how this needs to be done. All of that will happen. But yes, for now, this is just a brief idea of what the project is going to be, right? Bharat, project will start next week after we finish JavaScript. So we still have to finish with JavaScript before we can actually start working on the project, right? But from Monday onwards, we'll start working on these sections. So in one session, we'll create this. I'll tell you how to create this. Then in one session, I'll tell you how to write this. So I'll guide you step by step, one session each, one by one, so that you can parallelly work on this. So Monday onwards, we'll start with that as well. Yes, again, like I said, the team will be from the college itself, right? So we'll group people together from the same college. And because obviously you have to submit it to your college, right? So we'll group people together from the same college. In case there are more or less students, we'll decide the number of people accordingly, right? So again, that is going to be our setup. So this is what we are looking at. This is the final result of the project. Of course, this and a working project. So this is the document which needs to be submitted to the university. In addition to this, we will get a working link, which we will put on GitHub. Right? So that GitHub link will basically be the final link that you submit to the black box team, to us basically. Right? So you have to submit two things. The report will go to the university and the code will come to us. Right? Again, the GitHub link will come to us and the document that you create, this will go to the university. Right? So these are the two things. Again, Kuldeep, I will upload the project document on the GitHub repository itself. Don't worry, you will have this as a reference point. I will give this to you, no problem. Right? Yes, again, so like I said already, Upendra, we will give you the abstract in a few days, right? 3 to 4 days. You will get the project abstract that will be given from us. So you have to just submit that abstract. Like you said, college is asking for the abstract. So you have to just submit that abstract to them. And then we can start working on the project, right? So Sampath, again, we have about almost 2.5 months to go for this internship project, right? So it was supposed to be 3.5 months or so. We have had about a month of training so far. We have another 2.5 months to go, right? Perfect. Now, the next step after we figure out the SRS. So SRS is basically software requirement specification. The document that I showed you just now, your project report, that is basically the SRS. So SRS basically tells us everything about the project. Now, how you have to go about this, right? I will tell you step by step. Yes. So, Kilari, we have not started working on the project yet. We have talked about HTML, CSS. So we have been doing training. But yes, we will give you, you can join a group, no problem. We'll add you to a group. So yes, for people who are asking today's topic name, this is the topic name. It's written on the slide. You can check that out. Coming to how the project is going to be, right? So basically there are steps. Okay, three very important steps for the project. Step one, you have to generate the project report or you have to create the project report, which I just showed you. That is your SRS. That project report is the SRS. The second part of the project is where you have to create these diagrams. So again, let me just show you those sample once again. If you see this report over here, there are a couple of these diagrams. Again, we will talk about these diagrams. I will tell you how to make them. I will show you tools also, online tools also, using which we can make them. But these are the kind of diagrams that we create. These are called ML diagrams. That is Unified Modeling Language, right? So this is basically what an activity diagram or a data flow diagram looks like. We have a bunch of different diagrams. So here is a use case diagram, as you can see. Then we have this, again, another data flow diagram. Then we have an activity diagram, sequence diagrams. So we have a lot of different types of diagrams that are available. We will talk about them as well from Monday onwards. So I'll tell you everything about this. For today, I'm just giving you an idea of what is coming up. What is the project? Because this was the question that we were getting a lot. So we thought better we answer it in the session itself. So hopefully at this point, it makes sense. So this is the second important thing, the UML diagram that you have to create, right? So again, I will guide you how to do this, but you have to make 5 to 6 diagrams for your topic that will be given to you. Right? So we'll work on this again later on. Once the design is done, then we move to the front end, right? So then the next step is your development part. So development is split into 3 parts. We have front end, database, and back end, right? So front end, database, and backend, that will take the most amount of time. So you can think of it like this, that we should be able to finish off the diagrams in about 2 weeks. And then everything else we will do in the rest of the 2 months. So basically we'll finish off the diagrams part in the next 2 weeks, and then we'll do the development after that. By then we'll also finish JavaScript. So we will know everything to develop. Perfect. So now when it comes to development, we'll split this into 3 parts. And remember, every person needs to create all 3 things, right? It should not happen that only one of you is doing front end, only one of you is doing back end, only one of you is doing database. It will not work like this, right? So what we will do is we will distribute features in such a way that everybody gets to make everything so that everybody learns everything, right? So if you pick up, for example, say there is a login system in your project. So when you pick login, one of you picks login, you will be making the front end for the login form. You will be making the database for the login form, and you will also make the backend for the login form, right? So all of you will work on all the 3 things. It should not be split into it like this, that only one person is doing front end, one person is doing back end, one person is doing database. That will not work, right? So we need front end, database, and back end to be done by everybody. so that everybody knows these technologies properly. Unless you implement this, it will not make sense, right? So that is how the project is going to be, right? Any questions in this? So let me just quickly take one round of questions, then we'll jump to the interview talk. But before that, any questions at this point? Again, I've been very clear. The abstract will be given by us to you. You have to send it to your HOD or give it to your HOD, take their approval. That is your responsibility, right? But we'll be sending the abstract along with the team split. So what we will do is we'll assign you a team. We'll tell you that these 5 people will be in your team, or this is your team and this is your topic. Along with the abstract, we will give you, right? You have to take that abstract, go to your HOD, get that done, right? Get the approval done, and then we'll start working on this. Expect this to be received sometime next week, right? So Monday, Tuesday, etc. One of those 2 days, you should get this, right? So all the teams split up, the topics, the abstract, everything will be given to you within the next few days. Right. So by Monday or Tuesday, you should get. Regarding the project, again, like I said, I will guide you step by step. So I will tell you how to create UML diagrams. I will tell you how to write the report. I will tell you everything one by one. First, we have to create the groups, and first you have to submit the abstract. Let us get that done first. Then we'll work on everything else. For people who missed out on this, please watch the recording after the session is done. I cannot repeat the same thing so many times. So if you have any confusion, please watch the recording again later on, right? So I'm not really sure. Actually, he's asking, can we use this in a major project? This is your internship project, right? So I don't think you can use it on a semester project. You cannot. This is a separate internship project, right? No, the team will do one project, right? So Annavarapu, the team will do one project. So 4 or 5 people together will make one project. You don't have to do it individually, right? No, you cannot group up yourselves because we have so many people. It is not possible to do that. So we will allocate groups for you. And yes, I've already shared the links on YouTube as well. So Ramachandra, Shanti, Bharat, people who are asking for links, please scroll up in the chat and you should be able to see the links as well. And yes, it is a major project. For people who are asking, yes, it's a major project, a big project. That's why it's a group project. If it was a mini project, it would be an individual project, right? So this is your internship project. Perfect. So hopefully all of these things make sense, right? So certificate expected in February, March, April, sometime in April. Sasikala, that's when the internship ideally will end. If everything goes per plan, if you guys follow along with the timelines, April is what we are looking at. Right? Perfect. That's it. I'm not answering any other project questions because now the questions have started to repeat, right? Let me just one final time. I will just mention everything that I've said. So everybody, please stop typing in the chat. Just listen to me very carefully, and then we'll go to the next part. For the project that you have to create as a part of the internship, we are going to create groups for you. The group will consist of 4 to 5 members from your college. We cannot guarantee they'll be your classmates. We cannot guarantee they'll be in the same branch department. None of that. The only guarantee is that they will be from the same college. That's it. Right? We'll have 4 to 5 members in one group. We will be giving you the topic of the project along with the abstract in a few days. So expect it by Monday or Tuesday, right? Along with the group distribution. So you will know who is in your group, you will know the topic of the project, and you will get the abstract of the project from us. These 3 things will be given to you in the next few days. After that, what you have to do is get that abstract approved from your HOD. So you have to go to your HOD, tell them that this is the project that you're making. You can go with the entire group, get their approval on the project, and then we'll start working on the project. So expect this to take about a week or so. So the next Monday, the second Monday from today, is when we will start working on the project, right? Everything about the project, I will tell you how to do. I will give you the sample report. I will tell you step by step how to create it. I will guide you along the way, right? So this is everything you need to know about the project for now. The project is split into 3 parts. We have to create the project report. We have to create a few UML diagrams, and we have to write the code. Again, I will tell you how to do each of these things when we get there. For now, all you need to know is you have to present this or prepare this as a team, and that will be done within the next 3 to 4 days. So within the next few days, you will have your groups, you will have your topic, and you will have your abstract as well, right? That's it. So that is everything you need to know about the project. Let's jump to the next part now. Yes. So the next part that you're focusing on now is the interview bit. So before we get to the next topic, I just wanted to take a quick few minutes to talk about what you need to do in terms of interview preparation, because this is something that will also take time, right? So at this point in your college, you should start doing a bunch of different things together, because there are so many things that are required to prepare, and there's so much to prepare for an interview as well, right? So number one, let me know in the chat how many of you have already created your resume on tap. Just say yes if you have created it in the chat. Remember, we've had 3-4 different sessions, 4 times you have been told how to create it. So just want to know how many people have created their resume already. So most of you have not done this. Again, I cannot stress on this enough. Trust me when I say this, it is very difficult to find a ready-made resume template curated for you. And we have given you 3 templates on tap, right? So what you have to do is open tab, go to your profile, and over there, fill in all your details. You will have a button to download resume over there itself, right? That's it. It's very simple. Right? It will not take a lot of time, provided you have all your details with you. So let me actually try to show you quickly how that can be done. Right. So I will just share my screen again for people who have not done this. Please pay very close attention. I'll just take 2 minutes to quickly show this to you. It's very simple. So this is your tab, right? So I hope you have access to it by now. If you don't have it, please register. You will get the access. The link is in the GitHub repository. What you have to do is go to your profile, right? So that's your profile. Then you have to fill in all of these details. So you can see this is a sample where everything is filled. So you have your basic details to fill, then you have your educational details. You can fill everything over here, right? Once you fill this, then you will have an option to download resume. You have a button right here. If you can see, it says generate resume. Once you click on that button to generate resume, it will give you 3 different templates to choose from. So if we click on generate resume, we have 4 different templates, as you can see. Just click on one template, right? Let's choose this one. Click on preview. This will show you how it is going to look like, right? So you can see this entire thing and just download. Very simple, right? 3 steps. Go to your profile, fill the details and download. Done. Very simple, right? So for people who have not done this, it's a request. Please get it done as soon as possible, because your resume is going to be the first thing that any company is going to expect, right? So by the time the internship is done, by the time you start applying for jobs and looking for placements later, this will be the first thing that the company will expect you to do. So please make sure that you have to finish off the resume creation quickly, right? Again, for people who are saying you need ATS friendly resume. So yes, that is the content that you write. The template has got nothing to do with ATS. The content that you write in the resume must be relevant. That is how ATS works. It does not depend on the template, right? So please spend some time on this as soon as possible and create the resume first thing. So for people who have not done this, again, it is for your benefit. Please try to do this as soon as you can. Once you have the resume ready, the next step is to then start preparing something called a portfolio. Can anybody tell me what a portfolio is? Maybe you can type it out in the chat. What do you understand by the term portfolio? Exactly. So Uday got it right. Portfolio is your work. Portfolio is where you showcase your work. Resume is about you. Portfolio is about your work. They are 2 different things. Your resume is not your portfolio. Your resume is about your education, where have you studied, what have you done, extracurricular, hobbies, all those things. Portfolio is only about your work. So again, I am not sure how much you have worked on so far, what kind of projects you have created so far. I have no idea. But basically, you need to show some project to the interviewer so that they understand that you technologies, which is why we are also doing our project. Right? So the project that you create now, the abstract, what we just discussed, that will be a part of your portfolio. You can show that project as your portfolio, right? So portfolio is very important. A portfolio will basically tell the interviewer what you really know, right? So again, just telling somebody that you something doesn't make a difference. But when they see something that you have made, then they can basically decide how good or bad you are at a particular topic, right? So again, a portfolio is going to be really important. So the project that we are creating again is your portfolio. So you have to be very careful and you have to show that to the interviewer as well. How to create it, we'll talk about it later. I'll show you how to add a portfolio section to your resume, all of those things later. For now, you have to create the resume from tab and keep it ready, right? Then the next step is to go ahead and create the portfolio. Again, the project that we create now will be your portfolio. So that is the second important thing. These two things are required before you can actually start attending interviews, right? Or before you start attending or giving interviews, right? Now, coming to the process. So this is again very important. So I would request everybody to stop typing or looking at the chat for 5 minutes and pay very close attention to what I'm about to say now. This process is used by the industry, no matter which company you pick, whether it's an internship role, full-time role, part-time role, whatever it is, most companies tend to follow the exact same process, right? So I will tell you the entire process step by step. The first step in this entire process is resume based filtering, right? So again, they will ask you for your resume based on the skills you have mentioned, based on the description, projects, whatever is written in the resume, certification, all of those things. They will decide whether you are eligible to sit for the interview or not. And that is the first step, resume based filtering. So any company, no matter which company it is, will ask you to submit your resume to start with. That's the first step. Because, so again, you have to imagine this from the company's perspective. If there is one opening, say there are three, four openings, there will be thousands of applications. For 10 job roles, there will be 10, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 applications. So the first step that the company has to do is to filter based on resume. So they will pick people who are the most relevant for their job role, right? So they'll say, oh, this person looks good. Next up, the second step over here is an aptitude round. The second step is an aptitude round. This is why we have been telling you to take the APSCHE training on tap. For people who have done that, you might already know what I'm talking about. For people who have not, the aptitude round basically consists of a lot of logical questions, right? So there are questions on basic mathematics like statistics, probability, ratio, proportion, stuff like A next to C, things like that. Logical questions, right? That is the aptitude round. In some companies, there is also a vocabulary test. So they also have English questions with the aptitude round, right? So they'll have grammar questions, stuff like that, right? So the aptitude round is usually a timed round. You have 60 questions in 60 minutes or 90 questions in 90 minutes. So either way, you have about 1 minute per question. Okay. To be very quick with this round, and that is the first round that a company will typically take, right, before they do anything else. So after they see your resume, the second round, right, that is your aptitude round. Again, no matter which field you're from, engineering, mechanical, computer science, triple IT, this is the same process for every recruitment. Right? No matter where you're coming from. These are basic questions. You don't need special knowledge in any of this. Simple things like ratio, proportion, what if you buy this much, how will that cost? What will that cost? Things like that. Basic logic questions and some grammar English. So these are the two things that an aptitude round contains. Now, I'm going to show you one resource which is going to help you prepare for this in case you want to spend some time on this. I recommend you do, but then again, I can't really that. So I'll just show you what that is, and then you can go ahead and try it out. So let me just open it up. I'll then send it in the chat as well. Just a second. I'll share my screen. All right. So this is the link. Here's the screen as well. Screen here is the screen. Done. Right. So this is the link in the chat. I again add it to the repository also after the session. Don't worry. Link is called indiabix.com. I'm not sure if you have visited this earlier. Again, I've added this in the chat a bunch of times, adding it to the YouTube chat as well. So people who are on the YouTube chat also, please note, I've given you the link in the chat now, right? And yes, so perfect. If you know about the link already, that's great. If not, this is where you practice aptitude. So you can see there is general aptitude, verbal and reasoning, Worry about the programming parts. We are just focusing on general aptitude here. So these two sections is what you should focus on. Right? So general aptitude. If you want to do this in more detail, there is also an entire section on the left hand side. If you see, for example, verbal ability. So you have topic wise questions over here as well. Right? So you can see there is questions per topic. So you can spend some time on this. Again, this is something that you will have to do. Nobody is going to train you for this separately. Right? So you have to take time from your schedule and you have to do this on your own. Okay, and I've given the link in the chat. I will also add it to the GitHub repository. This is typically the first round that any company takes. It's the aptitude round. Okay. Round is again 60 questions in 60 minutes or 90 questions in 90 minutes. You need to practice this with a timer. So this is a tip for you. When you practice aptitude, always practice it with a timer. So what you can do is pick 60 questions from there, pick a paper. They also have sample papers. So pick a paper with 50 or 60 questions, set a 60-minute timer and try to solve that entire paper in 60 minutes, right? Or rather 50 minutes. Try to do it sooner so that you have two, three, when you practice it two, three times, by the time you give the actual round, you are prepared for the time. Because the biggest challenge in the biggest challenge in this round is time itself. Right? You will not face a lot of difficulty with the questions, but time itself will be the biggest challenge here. I'm coming to the HR round. We'll talk about that. For now, we are focused on the first round, right? Which is basically the aptitude round. Is this clear? Have you understood what an aptitude round is? There are logical questions, questions in 60 minutes. It's a time-based round. Usually there is no negative marking, but you have to check with the company, right? In some cases, there is a negative marking. In some cases, there isn't. Usually there isn't a negative marking, but in some companies there is. But mostly it is not there. And so you should definitely check that before you give the round, right? I've also given you the resource to prepare for it. It's called indiabix.com. Okay, the best place to prepare for aptitude rounds. Perfect. After the aptitude round, we move to the second round. The second round is usually a group discussion. I hope you know what a group discussion is. The second round is usually a group discussion. So like the name suggests, it's a group that is talking to each other. Very simple. But this is a challenging round for a lot of people. So let me quickly break it down for you. Let me tell you what happens in the round, how to do that, how to prepare for that, all of those things. So the very first thing is that when we're talking about a group discussion, the interviewer or the company is trying to just look at your communication skills, right? That is the only intent of this round. They are not looking at whether you know the topic or not. They are not looking at what are you saying, good or bad. They are not worried about your opinion on the subject. All they want to know is, can you communicate what you think? That's it. And that is the crux. That is the whole point of a group discussion. Typically, in a group discussion, we have 7 to 8 people in a group that talk for 15 to 20 minutes, right? So 7 to 8 people, 15 to 20 minutes, effectively 2 minutes per person. If you do the maths, it's basically supposed to be roughly 2 minutes a person. So remember, you have to talk for about 2 minutes in a group discussion. That's minimum. Okay. You don't talk at all, you are going to be rejected. If you talk only once, you are going to be rejected. So you have to talk a couple of times. Make sure you talk at least 5 times. It could be single sentences, one sentence, yes, no, whatever it is, but make sure you are a part of the discussion. At least I'm saying, not at least 5 times, right? So again, that's the group. Typically, the group discussion is done on a recent topic. So something that is national news or something that is very generic, right? So for example, say that the recent could be the recent, let's say it could be something around, a generic topic like the future of artificial intelligence or computing or augmented reality, virtual reality, something like that, which is very generic. Or it could be something around global change, again, something that is very generic, or a national news. For example, lockdown, from office, work from home, things like that. So it is going to be something very generic. That is for sure. It is going to be something very generic. That is for sure, right? So that's basically your discussion. So again, in a group discussion, you have to talk. Obviously, that's the whole point of the discussion. And in addition to that, what you also need to do is, yes. So in addition to that, what you also need to do is you have to communicate in English, right? Naturally, that is the whole point of the aptitude round. It is to make sure that you can communicate in English. Now, for that particular thing, again, I'm not sure how many of you are fluent or many of you speak properly, but there are just a couple of two, three small things that I can suggest if you want to improve on that, right? So that's the just two, three simple tips in case you want to improve on your English speaking. There will be, you can always look at soft skills and other things, but just two, three simple things that you can do on a daily basis to improve. Number one, you can watch English content, right? So this is something that I did in college because I also struggled the same way. So I watched a lot of English content. Right? There are some amazing movie series and movies and TV series in English, of course, right? So you can definitely watch those. The tip is watch them with subtitles, right? So don't just try to understand what they're saying without the words, but watch them with subtitles. So that way you also get to read plus listen so that you also understand the term. Right? So don't try to force yourself to watch it without a subtitle. That will not work. So put subtitles on and then watch. Right? So that is one. The second is find somebody who stays with you, near you, around you, who you talk to almost on a daily basis. And just a second. Right. So yes, so like I was saying, this is the second round group discussion for which you have to also prepare a little bit on your English skills, because that is the whole point of the round. Right? You should be able to communicate. So again, two, three simple things. One, watch English content, right? Number two, try to talk to somebody in English on a daily basis. Even 5, 10 minutes a day is going to be fine, but I have to talk to them on a daily basis, right? So it could be a friend, your family member, neighbor, somebody who stays around you. For a month or so, just talk to them, figure out. It could be also group members in your project. So once we create your project group, keep that communication in English if possible, so that you start speaking also. And that is more than enough to improve. If you do this for 2 months, you should be good to go, right? Perfect. The next round after this becomes a technical round. Right? So technical round is where we have technical questions. So again, this is MCQ plus coding, the kind of questions that we are getting in the assignments. Right? So these are the kind of questions that you can expect in the technical round, right? So yes, that's the third round that we have. Then we have the technical interview, and then we have the HR interview. So these are a couple of rounds. Let's talk about them one by one. We'll take a quick 5 minute break here. Let's come back in 5 minutes, and then I'll tell you about the next three rounds. There's the technical interview, technical round, and the HR round. Right. So let's just wait for 5 minutes, come back, and then continue. Right, yes, hi guys, we are back. Sorry about that. But yes, so again, the link will be sent in the chat. Now, coming to the next rounds for the interview. So again, I'll give you a few resources to prepare as well. Kuldeep is also asking for the same. But yes, so the first two rounds we've already discussed. The aptitude round is the first round. Then you have the group discussion. That's the second round. I've already told you how to prepare for both. Right? For aptitude, you go to IndiaBix. For GT, you just have to improve your English skills. So again, watch content, talk to people in English. You should be good to go. Three. The third round typically is a technical round. So in the technical round, what we have is we have 20 questions or 30 questions, depending on the company, out of which we have three coding questions, right? So if it's 20 questions, that is 17 MCQs plus three coding questions. If it's 30 questions, that's 27 MCQs plus three coding questions, right? So there are always three coding questions, right? No matter what technical round is, there are three coding questions. Typically, one of them is easy, one of them is medium, one of them is difficult. That is usually what the case is. Now, the MCQs will be from technical topics. So the topics that we're discussing now, full stack topics, it could be C, C++, some other programming concepts like object-oriented programming, things like that. It could be guess the output of the following, those kind of things. So any technical questions in terms of either theory or direct questions, true, false, any of that can be there. In addition to that, you have three coding questions. Right? One is easy, one is medium, one is difficult. The easy question is generally around some common use case algorithm. It could be a mathematical thing. It could be something similar, right? Some general logic, tax calculation, salary calculation, something around that. So basic understanding of programming will get you to clear that. The medium question is usually around a data structure. So that will be something around a stack or a queue or some other data structure like an array or a linked list, something of that sort. And then the difficult question could be anything. It is going to be a really challenging real world scenario based question. which is the difficult question. So there are three questions like that, right? Again, the choice of the programming language is generally open, which means you can choose any language. The compiler or the tool that you use supports all languages, right? So C, C++, Java, Python, JavaScript, usually every language is supported. You get a drop down from which you can choose your language. So the focus is on your problem solving skills and not on the language, right? So that is the setup. So yes, that's the setup for your technical round. Now, how do you prepare for this? Well, I will show you one more resource, which is basically called Sand Foundry. So I'm not sure if you have explored this resource before, but let me open it up and then I will show you. And again, the MCQ style questions you can find over here, the resource I'm about to show you. So here it is. Where are you? Safari. 1 second, just trying to share the screen. Yes, here you go. So this is the link. It's called sandfoundry.com, and you can see they have every possible. They also have aptitude questions, but again, India Bix is better at aptitude. These guys focus on technical questions. So if you just scroll down, you will see programming and IT MCQs. This is what you have to practice. Right? So you will see there are 1,000 data structure MCQs, C MCQ, C++, coding, Linux, JavaScript, everything is there. Right? So this is what you are looking at. So again, I'm putting the link in the chat. I will add these links on the repository as well. So in the GitHub repository also, I will add these again. I've also put the same link on YouTube chat as well. So yes, this is where you should go to prepare for technical round. Now coming to the technical round coding questions. So for that, there is a resource called, right, leetcode.com. So Dhanush, I am not sure about this placement drive bit. I will have to check with the team. I will let you know in the next session, right? Then the next link that I'm showing you, this is called Leet Code. Okay, this is a really important link for your coding questions practice. So here you cannot get MCQs. These are coding questions. Again, I've put the link on both Zoom as well as on the YouTube chat. So let me quickly sign in and I will show you how this works. So basically, once you log in to LeetCode, you see a bunch of questions. Right? You can see there are a bunch of questions. And let me just see if it logs in. It says it's giving me some error. I'll just try to log in using Google. Let's see if that works out. So let me just give this a try. There you go. So now this is what LeetCode looks like, right? And over here, you have a section called problems. This is where you go. And when you go to problems, you will see they have topic wise, even company wise questions. If you see here, they have questions from Amazon, Facebook, Google, Apple. Right? So they have company wise questions also. And they have other topic wise like algorithms, database, JavaScript, you can see. And they also have mentioned difficulty. So easy, medium, stuff like that. Right? They also have some other challenges as well. You can see let's lead course, interview crash course, things like that. So they have top interview questions, stuff like that. So this is where you go to prepare your coding questions. It's a very interesting site. You should definitely start spending some time over here. No, so Narayana, these questions are general. So Narayana is asking a very good question. He said that are these questions relevant to our skills that we have mentioned in the resume? They are not. These questions are independent of your resume. Right? It doesn't really matter which technology you, because these are generic questions. Like I said, these are general problem solving skill tests. These are not technical tests, which is why they give you the choice of your language. You can choose whichever language you want to code in. These are general questions, problem solving. Right? So yes, this is basically where you practice those. Again, I've put the link in the chat. I will also put the link again in the repository as well. So after the session, you can find it over there in the repository also. Right? So this is your technical round. Again, like I said, there are 17 MCQs and 3 coding questions, or we have 27 MCQs and 3 coding questions. So that is the setup for this particular round. Again, you can prepare from these links, and that's basically from where you can prepare. Once that is done, the voice is fine. I just checked on YouTube as well. It's playing perfectly fine on my device. So it should be your problem. Please check your connection. I think everybody is able to hear me correctly. Yes. So coming back to the point, these are 3 rounds. Right? So we have round 1, aptitude, 2, GD, 3, technical round. Now, again, I've given you resources for everything. I've given you resources for round 1 and 2 resources for round 3. That's Sand Foundry and LeetCode. Right? Now moving to round four. Round four is a technical interview, right? So this is a technical interview. This is the first time when you will actually talk to somebody from the team, right? Talk to somebody from the company for the first time. Basically, that is your four, the round four. It's called technical round, technical interview in general. This is where your resume will start to matter. Right? In the technical interview, the first thing they will do is take the resume from you and ask you questions on your resume. So trust me when I say this, everything that is written in your resume, you will be questioned about. Everything that is written in the resume, you will be questioned about that. So if you've written C programming, you will be asked about C programming. If you have written Python, you will be asked about Python. If you have written about this internship, you will be asked about this internship. If you have written about project, you will be asked about project. Everything that you have mentioned, if you have written that you played guitar in school, you will be asked about it. Whatever it is, whatever you have written in the resume, you will be asked about it. Again, for people who are asking the name of the session, this is what the name is. But yes, so that's the setup, right? Now, the next part in the technical interview is everything regarding your resume, like I said, right? So now what happens is, in this particular case, everything that you mention in the resume, you will be questioned about, like I said. So they will ask you about your education, they will ask you about college, projects, internships, programming questions, everything, right? So this is a longer interview, 25, 30 minutes, about approximately 30 minutes, right? Approximately 30 minutes is what you can expect this to be. Depends from person to person, but it is usually about 30 minutes long. Now, in this round, what happens is they can also ask you some technical questions, right? So, for example, when I typically I take an interview for a candidate, what I usually do is I ask them to share their screen and show me a project that they have made. So, for example, the project that we are about to make, you can open that, for instance. Then I tell them to walk me through the project. So I tell them, tell me how you made this. So then they'll be like, okay, here is the home page, this is the button, this is that, right? All of those things. Then what happens is I usually ask them something technical about that. So how did you implement login? How did you make database? How do you do this in MongoDB? How do you do that in React? This is where we have specific technical questions based on your skill set. Right? So this is that round where your skill set will be the matter. It will start to matter. And that's basically what this round contains. Right. And finally, after this, we have the HR round. So again, there are no ways to prepare for a technical interview. You just have to be good at the languages that we're discussing, the technologies that we're discussing. You should understand them very well, and you should be able to implement them in the project. Once you do that much, you should be confident enough to answer a technical interview, right? After that, after this is done, we have the final round, which is the HR round. So HR round is where we basically talk about your salary expectations and your joining dates and all those things. So if you clear the technical round, you are technically qualified to attend the HR round, or you're technically qualified for the company, right? So then what you do is you have the HR round. So HR round, like I said, they want to know who you are. They want to understand where you're coming from and what kind of value will you add to the team, right? So like, you are this person, you like to work in this setup, you're coming from this background, stuff like that. So they might ask you questions about your family, where you were working before, stay, college, stuff like that. Again, just to understand kind of question or what kind of a setup you're coming from. And then they want to understand, is it that you are looking for in the company? So that's basically, are looking at, and then they discuss salary expectation, joining dates, stuff like that, and done. That is your HR round, right? So yes, that's basically the entire interview process for you, step by step. Again, we have aptitude to begin with. Then we have group discussion, technical round, technical interview, and HR round. Typically, 5 rounds are usually there in the interview, right? 5 rounds are always there in the interview. Yogeshwari, MongoDB, not necessary to install. We can use it online also, but we'll be using the offline one. So yes, you can install it and keep it. But yes, you can also do this online. So it's not mandatory as such. Again, people who are worried about the links, you have that in the chat now. So please check that link out and you should be able to find your assignment, sorry, your feedback links. They've now been put in the chat again for both YouTube as well as Zoom. You should find those in the chat. But yes, that's basically the entire interview process, right? Now, next session onwards, that's on Monday. we will start with JavaScript and we'll go from there, right? So yes, make sure you fill the feedback link. I hope you have clearly understood the entire interview process. I also hope that you have clearly understood the project part. So again, the abstract will be given to you, the team will be allocated, and you have to create the project. We'll discuss it step by step, but I hope that is also clear. So here onwards, I will not entertain any questions on project, assignment, and related to that. We'll discuss more topics. We'll work on the project simultaneously. Right. So I hope everything regarding those two things is now clear. I've also given you the entire walkthrough of an interview process. So hopefully that also makes sense. And again, I've shared so many resources with you. I will add that in the repository also. So please start spending some time on these links and start, for the interviews accordingly. You should start with lead code, start with Sand Foundry, start with Bix, right? So by accessing those resources, spend 15-20 minutes a day on everything so that you can prepare better as well, right? So yes, that's basically it. So much guys for attending. I hope that makes sense. And the assignment link, one second. I'll just put the assignment link in the chat once again, just because something that you have to do immediately. So yes, the assignment deadline will be a week from today. But then again, like I said, starting with JavaScript on Monday, finish it off as well. So there you go. I've given you the assignment link again in the chat. And again, make sure that you have the GitHub repository link. I will be uploading the and the other resource links, everything on the GitHub repository itself, right? So yes, now for people who have genuine questions about this, you can stay back. I will help you with those. For people who have no questions or doubts, you can take a leave and I'll see you guys back on Monday. But yes, for people who have any questions regarding the interview process, regarding the project that we have discussed, you can stay back and I can help you. Everybody else, you don't have any further questions, make sure you fill the feedback and then that's it for this one. So I'll be here for about 5-10 minutes. In case there are questions, I will take it. Otherwise, I will also then wrap up. Okay, Lakshmi has a good question. The question is it mandatory to change resume or description for every application? Uh, Yes, no, it depends. So see, if you're applying for example, let's say the role that you're applying for is a web development, a web developer or front-end developer, then all front-end developer roles can have the same resume. But if your role changes, let's say one company is looking for front-end developer, other company is looking for React developer, a third company is looking for backend or MongoDB developer. So then you can change it or curate it accordingly, right? So that the first company thinks or understand that you know this, the second company will understand that you know that better, MongoDB better. So for the same JD, for the same job role, you can use the same resume, but for different job roles, ideally you should customize it according to that role. So yes, hopefully that makes sense. No, look, JavaScript is not the last topic. We have React, then Node, Express, MongoDB. MongoDB will be the last topic. Again, for all LMS questions, you will have to talk to somebody from the team. I can't really help you with the LMS questions. So please ask that question on email or at the WhatsApp group. There'll be somebody who will help you out. Yes. So Pujita, I usually prefer this resource. It's called devdocs.io. So that's my go-to for like web development resource. I've replied to your chat. I've also put it in the group chat. So this is an additional resource which you can look at. It's a good resource for yeah, web development documentation. Okay, next question. Next step to debug even error, I can't find JSON, kindly install. Rupa, again, I'll have to look at the code for that. Let's take that up in the next session. Will you please tell the description for machine learning role? Again, that is the AI ML part, so you're probably asking that in the wrong session. Which course? See, Pawan, I'll be very honest. All of the roles that you have mentioned, right, including DevOps, AI, cybersecurity, web developer, All of these roles are high paying roles, and all of them are in demand in this year, especially this year, right? Because there's a lot of firing and hiring going on right now in the industry. So yes, all of these roles are high paying and they're all in demand. The only thing is you have to focus on any one of them, whichever you like the most, and master it properly. Once you understand one technology properly, you can find plenty of job roles and grow in any field. Right? It's not that you have to be like there's only one field which is growing, the other fields are not. Every field works well, pays well. You just have to figure out which one you like the most and explore that properly. Yes, so when like I showed you, have to upload two files, HTML file and CSS file. So upload those two files and then you will be able to submit the assignment. Not really. So Kuldeep is asking, can AI replace a web developer? Not really. Maybe to some extent, some of our job may be done by them, but there'll always be something left to do, which we have to do. So yes, it might reduce the number of jobs, but it is definitely not replacing anybody. Vinay, you have to create the file, right? It is a question for you. You have to look at the screenshot, write the code for it, and then submit that. That is the assignment. If I give you the solution to the assignment, then how will you practice, right? So yeah, you have to create that code and then submit it. No, Prasad, I've modified the GitHub assignment link to HTML. Please check again. I've already modified that. Last time is Friday. Next Friday, Amit. Next Friday is um the deadline for the assignment submission. Right. And perfect. So those are all the questions in the chat. And yes, that's basically it. Thank you so much, guys, for attending. I hope this was helpful. And yes, let's meet again on Monday and continue our discussion with JavaScript. So yes, see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye-bye.